Hello YouTube, welcome back to another Inscription Kaycee's mod video. In this video, we'll be attempting challenge level 10. If you enjoy what you see here, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, it really helps out. Without further ado, let's hop into the game. I am running with the Mantis God deck yet again, and this is the challenges I have set for myself. With the new challenge being Squirrelfish, where it now makes squirrels have the waterborne sigil. I also removed the no boss rares in favor of putting these two on, which equal up to the extra 10 points I needed instead of 15. Let's see. How old is Inscription? It's definitely a few years old. I think it came out 2016, 2017. I'll tell you here in a second. 2021? Really? It only came out 2021. Huh. For some reason, I thought the game was much older. I really did. Like, I don't know why I thought it was 2016. But no, yeah, it's only like 3 years old. Man, it's got to ring. Okay. Standard start. River Otter and Moose Buck. Again, not something I'm really wanting to set up. Feasible, yeah, but not something I want to set up. I mean, I'm always down to take a Warren if you're going to give it to me. But there's nothing else here I really need. Nothing that's like... I mean, the Direwolf Puff's not bad. It's just the fact that it starts with two sacrifices for it. Can be pretty rough, especially early game. Do I want to set up the fires first, or do I want to try to go Woodcarver again? I think Woodcarver is the better option right now. Ooh, yeah, get a pretty good setup there going with that one. The find a card sigil. I just gotta make it through these first couple of fights. Because right now my only damage option is Mantis God and the Direwolf Pup. I guess I could put the Mantis God here and it would have killed the Direwolf Pup. I just wanted to put it in a spot that I know would be safe in. Either way, Direwolf Pup's going to die next turn anyways. Oh, it needs 2, that's right. Honestly, I still don't see the waterborne squirrels as necessarily a bad thing. It just... You have me here, I surrender. And what if I do not accept your conceit? Did you think about it that way? But yeah, no. For a game that's 3 years old, though, I didn't expect it to have as many views. Or get as many views as it does. I've been playing some newer games on my channel, and they just get, like, no views at all. And I'm like, well, don't know what I was expecting. Pick a boulder for a chance of gold. This one. Oh, bifurcated cockroach is not that good. Because I can't take the sigils off of it. Damn. Really teasing me with that one, huh? Man, none of these are good. Man, the Woodcarver is just letting me down. Last run, greatest Woodcarver. I mean, true, Minecraft and GTA still get plenty of views, but I don't know. Those are like the most commonly played games, so it kind of makes sense that they get a ton of views. It just, I don't know. Again, it's just, I'm not going to question a good thing. It just feels weird in the long run. Looking at it, from the perspective of, I play this game, but I still don't understand why it still gives me so many views. Damn, Ringworm is just not the card I'm looking for right now. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. Fall Guys. I mean, I haven't really played Fall Guys ever. This is not my style of gaming. I don't think I have anything else worthwhile in my deck to take out. And I guess it makes sense just to put my Ringworms down to absorb some damage. Yeah, it's one of those games. I could see it being fun. It's just not the type of game for me. I'll surrender. And what if I don't want you to? Do you ever think about it that way? See, yeah, golf with friends. I could see, like, those used to be really popular on YouTube. I think I own it. I just don't really play it. I don't play a lot of games anymore, right? As I've explained it before, since restarting streaming, I've kind of lost a lot of interest in gaming as a hobby, which I don't know is a good or a bad thing. It's just one of those things that just kind of don't care that much anymore about it. I enjoy it. It's just not something I really am striving to do or go out of my way to do. Like, I do have fun when I do play it. I mean, hey, I'm not going to knock on The Sims. I used to love playing it. It's one of those games that it's a guilty pleasure. You go back to it every once in a while and just play it for fun. But I don't own a copy of The Sims anymore. The copy I used to own was for the, I think it was the original Xbox. But again, it's just one of those, guilty pleasure games. Ooh, not a great start. Ooh, I'm barely gonna survive. I mean, yeah, fair enough. Some people are just really entertaining when they're streaming games. I don't know if I'm entertaining. I don't know if I'd say that, but there are definitely people out there who are extremely entertaining when it comes to playing games. Damn. I'll survive this, but I'll survive by the skin of my teeth. fact, I'll probably just barely win this round. Oof. I mean, it also depends on like how you enjoy streaming. Like, I usually go for the more chill streamers who are like just playing the game and having a conversation. Some people enjoy those people who are super loud, and that's just not for me. Like I needed to make sure your neighbors can understand that you're watching a live stream type people are just not something I enjoy. But then again, oh, yeah. It's funny because I used to enjoy like watching YouTubers with that like high pitch, like you know, hey guys, welcome back to this. That's not for me. I can't enjoy that kind of content anymore. As like a child and teenager, it was enjoyable, but now as an adult, I'm like, it just grates my ears. God, yeah. See, but I feel bad for people who have voices like that, but it's so annoying after a while just listening to it. Will you eat the ringworm? Thank you. That's all I wanted. Yeah, like I said, I feel bad for people with like naturally high-pitched voices like that, where it's just like, ugh. Like, it's not their fault, but man, does it just get annoying after a while. Man, there's really nothing in here I'd want. Oh, I guess I could have taken that because it's a prospector. Oh, well. Ooh, this is going to be tough because I have to have a way to deal damage. That's not going to end with me, like, losing because there's no way for me to rebuild that damage back up. Oh. Shit, I didn't think that through. God damn it. I had to do that. I could also go for killing the pack mule and trying to get a card from that, which would be somewhat feasible with the direwolf. Man, is it going to be rough getting it out there. Oh, but if I do that, I'm probably going to win the next... No, I won't, because direwolf... Okay, yeah, no. I won't. Yeah. Thankfully, I'm starting to build up some extra cards that deal damage, but man, would this be a really annoying fight otherwise. Alright. I want to hold on to the cards I just got from killing the mule. Because again, I just need a way to win this first phase without losing out on my option of dealing a decent amount of damage, right? If I play the bat, I could deal 2 damage directly. Direwolf will kill this. I just need to deal 1 more damage. That's a good way to deal 1. Alright, I guess I'm gonna have to just accept where it is right now, because Direwolf will win the next turn. Just sucks that I'm gonna lose my like powerhouse card. Alright, so first things first is going to be Squirrel by Black Goat, and then we're going to put out this guy, and then Squirrel. Oh, why did I put the squirrel down? Oh well, Mantis God it is. Oh hey, how's it going? How'd you find me? Guess it wouldn't be that hard. I use the same name on Twitch and on Discord right now. Wasn't expecting you to jump into the stream. I actually like Gek. I think Gek's a fun card to have in my hand. Oh, you may have had a hand in it. Yay. Oh, thanks for the follow. Doesn't that get me up to my follower goal? I don't remember what my follower goal was. I'm pretty sure it's 25. Was I only at 23? I don't know. That's what I get for not paying attention. As the air grew humid, your boots became harder to pull for the mud. The dank smell of the tepid water invaded your nostrils. You had reached the wetlands. Am I at 24? Then again, a lot of bots tend to follow, so what happens is after a couple of days, they'll like fall off. So that may have been like what tripped me up, is I think I was at 24 and then it dropped down to 23. Anything? I don't want to get rid of anything right now. I would love an unkillable Gek. Or unkillable Warren, really. I wouldn't mind getting the Mantis to put onto my Mantis God. Or put it on the Direwolf pup. Sure, take the Mantis. Can you not hear me? Do they happen to have me muted? And so they're thinking I'm only typing in chat and they can't see my my types in chat. I mean, ain't that how it always works? Take the hourglass, the squirrel, and I don't really have many bone cards, but I'll take the bones. Up here, if I were to... I don't know which direction I want to go from here. Getting out the Direwolf pup would be nice, but I do have a way I could get it out. Guarantee me as close to victory as I could get. realistically speaking. Or I can put the Mantis here and it'll kill the Rattler, and I can wait till my next turn to get the Direwolf pup out. I'm playing Inscription, but I'm playing like the after end game content called Kaycee's Mod, which basically gives you an endless version of the first phase of the game. I think that makes the most sense here. Mantis, it'll deal 2 damage. Yeah. But yeah. It's a fun game. This mode's just super challenging. Not the card I was looking for. But I can make it work. Yeah, it's a really fun deck building roguelike style game, and it's a pseudo horror, I think would be the best way to put it. I would recommend, like, if you haven't played it, going into the main game blind if you're interested in this style of game, because the main game is so much fun, and going in blind will, like, just really make the playthrough that much more worth it. Although, of course, I didn't get a chance to go in blind because I long heard of this game, but way before this point. Like, when it first came out, I saw a playthrough of it. I mean, if I really wanted to guarantee victory here, I could skip their turn. But honestly, I think it's more worth my time to do it like this. Yeah. Yeah, thankfully this part of the game is kind of just end game extra content. And it kind of goes more in depth into explaining how the first part of the game happened. But it really doesn't spoil much of, like, the main game itself. I'm trying to think what's the best option here. Campfire really isn't going to do me much good. But I could use the extra card to try and get a cockroach. That's why I do not want to get rid of the Clover until absolutely necessary, though. Being able to re-roll it at least once. And now I'm going to start building up my Mantis God to being the all-powerful, unkillable being that it's going to become. I would like to actually hit that up. But I also want to get this sigil transfer so I can put regular Mantises bifurcated on my Mantis God's trifurcated strike. Oh, man. The other problem I'm starting to face is my deck is starting to get too many cards in it. Like, it's still small, but it's getting to the point where it's, like, becoming a pain to get the cards I want out of it. But the only way to get the cards I need is to keep taking the, like, random card events. I mean, that is the card I would love to play right now. If only there was a way I could do this without having to, like, set myself up in a bad position. Yeah, I really love the mechanics. At least this stage of the game, like the stage they're remaking for Kaycee's mod. But the other stages of the game can be pretty rough. It's almost like, and I think this is why they did this portion of the game remade, the first section, is because a lot of people kind of had problems with how the second two sections played out. I mean, I enjoyed them. I played them, and I didn't have that hard of a time playing them. It's just other people, I did see a lot of complaints about it. But I ain't gonna lie, I thoroughly enjoyed this section. So I think that's probably why they remade just this section of the game, because the other two sections didn't feel nearly as well balanced, game mechanic wise. Honestly, none of these are fantastic options. Like, I would love to get that after hitting up one of these to get a better sigil on my mantises. But to explain for the uninitiated, what this one does is you offer up a card, and the event will try to copy the card. Now, it can copy your card perfectly, 1-for-1, so all the sigils, attack, and health, and everything will match. But there's a chance they can mess it up, which isn't always a bad thing, because it could mean that instead of having this sigil, it might have the unkillable sigil, which means it just goes back in my hand when it dies. And then I could combine the two cards later to like make a card that has both sigils on it. I don't know if that's worth it right now, or would I rather put the bifurcated on it first before hitting that up. I mean, best case scenario, I can get I put that on there, or I get a cockroach. Cockroach is the other thing I need. Because with cockroach, I can make the warren go infinite, since it spawns a rabbit, and the rabbit also is unkillable because it gets all the sigils. That worked out way better than I was expecting it to. Honestly, I kind of want to attack their beehive, but I feel like for now, it's best just to get the mantis out. Just to deal a little damage. Hey, there's my unkillable warren. I just gotta get a squirrel so I can play it. And then yeah, those two can tank the hit for me, so I won't lose this next round. Nice. Put Mantis God there. And then, like I said, just keep putting the rabbits down. Oh, yeah, good luck with that conference call. Now I have 2 unkillable rabbits. It's not like I'm not going to win this round anyways. I just think it'd be fun. Depends on the sigil, right? So, this one here with the apple on it. Here. Morsel. When a card bearing that sigil is used as a sacrifice. So, in the like tops of these cards, you can see the bones and the blood icon. Those are the type of sacrifices needed. Bones is whenever a creature dies, you get a bone in as a token, and you can use the bone tokens to summon a creature. Or blood, meaning you have to sacrifice one creature for it. So the morsel adds its stats to whatever creature you're, using it as a sacrifice for. Whereas unkillable, which is the skull icon with the like circle around it, means it goes back to your hand every time it dies or is sacrificed. And I put that sigil on this card because every time it creates a rabbit, the rabbit gets the sigils of the Worn, meaning it gets the unkillable sigil as well, creating basically an infinite loop of cards you can use as either sacrifices or even just, in some cases, meat shields to take the damage for you. Now, cards with the airborne sigil on them will fly over those and attack you directly anyways, so it still requires a little bit of strategy basing it around it. But each of these, every time there's a cyan sigil, it means it was added later on. It's not a sigil originating to that card. So these are like these ones I added on. This one came with it because it was like a special card I got. To do the sigil transfer, you have to use like the icon here. And you just pick a card that you want to put the sigil onto. So for example, if I go to this one, I'm going to put this sigil onto my Mantis God. So this one attacks the two like spaces diagonal to it, whereas this one attacks the two diagonals and the one in front of it. So if I put this one on Mantis God, it attacks the two diagonals twice and the one in front of it once. Either way, I'm going to go to this square. Whether I go to the fires or... I think the fires are probably the best bet right now, because I can strengthen either its damage or health. Now, the thing with the fires is there's usually like 5 wooden figures surrounding it. And the way it usually works is when you put a card on the fire, you can increase either its damage or health, depending on what the fire is, one time for free. The second time comes at like a 50-50 chance of the 5 tokens around it eating your card or it getting the level up. But because I used Ringworm, which is another card in the game, if you play Ringworm and they eat the Ringworm, it poisons them and kills them. So it means every fire is now free for 2 free upgrades. I am the angler. You are the fish. Yeah, it took me a while to like learn some of the mechanics of this game myself. So if there's anything you don't really understand, I don't mind explaining it. I actually wouldn't mind holding on to that for another turn, but what I could do is play you and sacrifice you for Mealworm, I guess. Either way, I gotta take this first hit. Not ideal. Oh, Gek's not a good card to have. You could take the squirrel. I don't really care about that. Oh, I should put the squirrel over here. Each boss has its own unique mechanic for the angler. He'll hook whatever like the freshest card is, the last played card, every couple of turns, and he'll drag it to his side of the board at the end of his turn. So the best way to like get around that is to keep one squirrel in your hand every 2 turns, just to like counter his grabbing. And you can also use it as a way of, like, preventing you from taking damage, essentially. By having him take cards that are not important. Ew. Just horrible start. I guess I could play the bat, just so I can deal any bit of extra damage. Oh, that's this turn done. I should have drew from my other pile. Ideally, I guess I want them to skip his next turn. Because, yeah, attacking the bait bucket spawns sharks, and, yeah, don't want to lose here to the sharks. What the fuck? I'm just drawing everything but the card I need. What is this? Oh, I won't die from this. I definitely am not going to have a good time. Oh, I'll win, because it'll be 2, and then he'll kill the Great White, and then 1 damage here. I'll win, but barely. I say, for me, the hardest part about the game so far is trying to balance the size of the deck in an easy way, because there's not a lot of ways to get rid of cards. A lot of ways to add them, not a lot of ways to get rid of them. Like, you complete certain challenges using health, power, and sigil amounts, and you'll get like a special powerful card from these events. The only way to really get rid of cards is have the campfire people eat a card, use the Bone Lord to sacrifice a card to start each turn with an extra bone, or using a sigil tray to get rid of it and add the sigil to another card. There's really only like 3 ways I know of getting rid of cards in the game. And I always struggle like trying to like get to that point. I think I have to go this way just to hit up the fire and then eventually make my way to the sigil trade. I don't need another warren. Nor do I really need a black goat. Yeah, this game can be pretty tough. Especially like at the stage I'm at right now. Because the big thing about what I'm currently doing is there's challenge levels where you add challenges until eventually you get to like level 12, I think it is, and then that's the last challenge tier there is. But man, is it difficult getting to that point. Sure, more health for the Mantis God. Let's see. Starting with my Warren in my hand is an ideal start, but oh god, it's just a bad, like, encounter for me. With that, I've started the unkillable, like, rabbits. Alright, there we go. And then from here, I can just keep drawing from my main pile without having to worry about running out of sacrifices, which is usually what holds me back. The easiest way to know if you're winning is there's this scale over here. And your goal is you want to eventually deal, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 5 damage total, and that means you won. If you do over 5 damage, or you go over, like, the edge of the scale, all that extra is kind of used as, like, a currency, or its teeth, and they're used to go buy things from the trader and the trapper. I have a challenge set right now where it's tipped scale, so I always start with 1 in against my favor. And so it's constantly a game of going back and forth until you eventually overpower them. And easiest ways of doing that is, like, to set up an unkillable Warren or an unkillable Beehive and kind of build up an infinitely, like, replayable, sacrificable card until you can get, like, your powerful cards into your hand. I hope that's kind of like what you wanted from an explanation, because it's about the best I can give you for it. Man, this is just not the ideal setup. The last run I won, I did, and, like, pretty much I just had a bunch of ants. Ants, their power increases with each ant on the field. Oh my god. Where are all of my good cards at? They're all just in hiding right now. I mean, I guess I could play Mantis God. It's not my good one, but I guess I could play it to deal damage. Oh my... Where is my... Where is my Mantis God? It's just in hiding. It doesn't want to be a part of this. Is it really going to be the last card in my deck? It's like the most powerful card I own, and it just is, like, refusing to show up. Alright, it has to be the last card in my deck. There's no way I'd be getting this far without it. Thank God I have an unkillable Warren. Oh, what the fuck? Sure, I'll play you. I could easily play the bat and deal 2 damage, but I don't know. I just know it's going to die anyway, so what's the point in putting it out there just to die? Finally. Hey, where's my rabbits? There they are. A man can't ask for a one-turn victory anymore. I don't know what the hell happened there. It just, like, refused to come out. It was just like, I'm gonna hide at the bottom of the deck. And that's the problem with having, like, such a large deck to begin with, though, is that's, like, if you're relying on one card, that one card's going to be all the way at the bottom. Now, there are ways around it, but I don't have any of that set up to, like, go around that one problem. And I really don't want to add cards to my deck. 4 blood, 4 power, or 2 of the same kin. 4 sacrifice would probably be the easiest to get around. 4 power, I could lose it if it doesn't draw, like, any card that isn't 0 and a bat together, or if it doesn't draw a Mantis God. And then kin, which is kind of like what you'll see it up here in the corner. It's like insect, canine. I think they're lizard. Like kin are just like whatever group they belong to. Screw it. Let's see what you'll give me. Nothing, because I failed that trial. Now, what if I add a trifurcated? Oh, I can't. I'm not surprised it wouldn't let me, but I kind of was hoping it would. Add trifurcated to trifurcated. So it deals like 6 times the attacks. I also wouldn't mind hitting up Woodcarver, because Woodcarver gives you totems that can be used to, like these would, you can start building totems to like add special effects to your cards. Every time it kills, it gains power. That is not in my favor. But it also flies over, so it's not like it's really going to attack my cards. Odd combination, but it actually works out in my favor. So what I can do, play the Warn to give me a rabbit. I get Direwolf Pup out, and I think the best bet here is to use my last item to get the bat out so I don't immediately die. I guess I could have waited a turn, but I don't know. I felt it was better and safer to do it that way. I really should have just waited a turn. I already got my Mantis God out. Oh, that's 5, 10, 15, 20. 20 damage. And then another 4 from the Direwolf. Alright, that's a little bit broken. I won't deny it. Power, health, and kin. Do power. Not a super high chance, but I'll say if I drew Mantis God, it's guaranteed pass no matter what. God damn, my phone is blowing up. Why are you blowing up? I forgot to mute it. How could I? Ant Queen, Sparrow, double attack, Pack Mule, Elk. Again, none of these really appeal to me. I'll take the Sparrow. I need to start adding damage to a couple other cards. Speaking of. Just so I'm not reliant strictly on my one Mantis God every time. I mean, a card that can fly over the enemy and deal damage that way actually sounds pretty broken. I'm sorry, game. I don't mean to abuse you this badly. It was never my intention. But you kind of need these game-breaking, like, combos just to beat, like, the later tiers of challenges. Because it's the only way to do so without going insane. I mean, with that, it's GG. I already won. I don't even know how many teeth I have. Like, how much extra damage have I been doing this entire time? I would love to use that just to get rid of a card. But I want to add a copy of my Mantis God if I can. That'll be ideal. Please allow another chance. Alright. Do not fuck up this Mantis God, alright? At least leave the power and health the same. You can get rid of one of the sigils. Holy shit, you made it stronger. Thank you. Oh, Fecundity would be so broken with this deck. I just need an Insect Head to go with it. I never got the chance to really get the Insect Head, I don't think. It kind of sucks, because what my whole deck is based around is insects. An exquisite pelt ye shall make. Oh, game, you don't want me bullying you? That's not fair. I mean... what I could do is just that. Get the Raven out. Which allows me to get Cockroach out. Oh, they got stinky, so they reduce my attack by 1. Whatever shall I do, then? Come on. Damn it. Not the card I'm looking for. It'd be very risky. It'll kill this one, but I'd take 2 damage, right? I could sacrifice it, get a rabbit out, and let the rabbit be a sacrifice. I think that's better for me. Because Corpse Maggots will go down instead. There we go. That's what we were looking for here. Well, not the ideal approach right now. Still works in my favor. Oh, I completely did that the wrong way. Oh well. It's not the end of the world. I'm sorry. Where are where are all of my cards at? Put a rabbit there and put another rabbit here for now. Best card I do or don't have. Honestly, Mantis God is one of the strongest cards in the game, I believe. At least in my opinion. There are a lot of like cards you could argue are super strong. Mantis God starts off weak because it only has 1 damage, 1 health, but it attacks 3 spots. And the fact that it only requires 1 sacrifice, I think, makes it more powerful than you would initially think. But that also comes with its own caveat of problems. For like in this case, it's not unkillable. I'm going to win because it's going to clear out the space, but it's not like it's unkillable. So it kind of like, it comes down to what you're building your deck around and what your preferences are for your play style, right? Warren could be argued to be one of the better cards as long as you have unkillable on it, because it allows you to create infinitely sacrificable meat shield cards, right? It all just comes down to what is needed in the moment. Because the game is very, like, unfair in that aspect. Like, there are cards to kind of counter a bit of everything in the game. Like, just there, this card has Touch of Death, which kills any card it comes across in 1 hit, no matter what. So even if you put down a card that could theoretically, you know, kill it, it could still beat that card because it only takes 1 hit to kill any card it comes across. And I want these traps to kill my rabbits because it gives me more pelts, and the second phase is all about using your pelts to trade for the enemy's cards. I should win this at this point, because 2 damage, yeah, should put me just over the edge of the first phase. I always like to buy the first row completely outright. Now, you could also argue these are really good cards too. Grizzlies have massive health and massive damage, and same with like the Great White submerges. So on your turn they can't, or on the enemy's turn they can't attack the card. So again, it's all kind of up to what works best with your current build, right? For mine more centers around the Mantis God, so I prefer to have that card, but again, they all kind of don't really matter. At the end of the day, they all do the same thing. Really, the most important part of the game is how you modify it later into the run to make it more powerful. Because you can build the most, like, you can grab the most powerful card in the game, but if you don't have the right sigils on it, it's nothing. Like, Warren is a weak card altogether, but because of the fact that it has unkillable on it, is what makes it good for my deck. Honestly, if we're talking sigils, this one's one of my favorite sigils in the game. Bloodlust, because every time it kills a creature on the enemy side of the field, it gains power, which just is so much fun, especially when you're running a Mantis God deck like this one. And at this point, there's nothing else I really need to play. Yeah. 9. That was 13 damage in one turn. Alright. I am going to pause my video recording and my stream here because I need to go run to the restroom. I drank way too much sweet tea. Alright, made it to the final section of the game. Do I have any items? I don't. Backpack's probably the smartest option here. As much as I don't want to take it. Skip a turn. The bones. Bleach, I guess. This is actually a pretty long recording. I think it's because I had to do... It's because I did a bunch of, like, explanations in it. Sorry you can hear me breathing heavy. I haven't exercised in quite a minute. Running over to my computer from my fucking basement doors here is not what my body was expecting, apparently. Actually, a pretty weak hand, all things considered. So I'll skip their next turn, just so I can do it this way. Play Smoke, and sacrifice it for the Sparrow, which will attack Mole Man twice, killing it. And it gives me a card, or it gives me an item because of the Pack Mule effect. I could also... Oh. Don't know why I played a squirrel there. Play Long Elk here, which will kill Mole Man outright. Meaning I instantly win the first phase, no matter what. I mean, I could just erase flight blocking and just instantly kill their, yeah, let's just do that. Instantly win the next phase. And that just makes one last phase left of this boss fight. Honestly, I think this is probably one of the easier bosses to fight in the game, because once you're at this point, you're already pretty powerful. Oh yeah, no. I love me some sweet tea. I got sweet tea with lemon that I get from Wawa. No, I had to go to the bathroom, and it was like in the like in between the fights. So I was like, okay, I had to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Drank way too much sweet tea this morning. Look, yeah, you can have your own opinion. I like my tea with lemon. I enjoy it. I ain't gonna agree with your opinion, but you could have it. You're good to have your own opinions. Oh, if I saved my bleach, I could have erased all the sigils. But it's not the end of the world. No, to each their own. I just think unsweet tea is really bad. I will be the first to admit it. I barely like, not barely. I do love me sweet tea, but unsweetened, it's not for me. The odd part is I like really strong sweet tea. Like, I want the tea flavor to be really strong, but I also want it to be really sweet. Placing with the Mantis God's probably best for now. Whatever shall I do? Not the best situation to be in, but it's not like the moon can really hurt me. Right, this part of the fight's just kind of here for shits and giggles. It's like when you get to the third phase, you're guaranteed to win. Unless you run out of cards. It's the only way you can lose. And with the setup I have going, there's no way I was going to run out of cards anytime soon. Okay, well, it depends on how sweet your tea is, right? If the tea is not super sweet, it's not that bad. But if you're drinking, like, sweet tea with, like, 2 cups of sugar in it, which I used to drink, that could be pretty bad. It also depends on how many people are drinking it. Honestly, I don't know what's going on here. I'm having an easier time with some of these later challenges than I did with some of the first challenges. See, I live on the border of the north and the south, so it's like every restaurant has sweet tea. It's just not sweet tea. Entry number 10. Last night, I brought the disc with me on a walk around the seawall and was this close to just chucking it out into the water. If I'm right, that Carnival code is still out there and the machine is, incredibly, still ready to accept it, destroy the disc. No one finds the code and no one can blow up half of Europe, right? But I saw an otter, which made me think of Leshy. Maybe we need the code to disarm the machine. Could that be right? I can't be sure. I went home. Okay, fair enough. 4 people drinking it. I can see why it goes by quickly. Pelt lice will strike the opposing space and extra time when attacking. 4 sacrifices for a bifurcated or a dual striking 1/1. Ooh, that's pretty bad. Ho Dog. When Ho Dog attacks an opposing creature, perishes, it gains 1 power. It's only got 2, but it's got 1 and 5. That's pretty good. Alright, we're going to end my... just to warn everybody, make sure everybody hears me. I'm doing the YouTube outro because I'm recording this for YouTube as well. So when I say goodbye, I'm saying goodbye to YouTube, not to Twitch. So I want to make sure that's clear and everybody's understanding. But yeah, let me do the outro real quick. Alright, YouTube folks, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw here, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. It really helps out. With that all being said, have a wonderful day, night, evening, whatever, and bye-bye.